DonBest.com. What you need to win.
Let's get it going. Preseason football, bunch of games on Thursday night. And even in preseason, Bruce, you know, the players out there are going to gravitate to live betting. It's a whole new dynamic.
Adds another dimension. The live betting makes it a lot more exciting as the games go on. Even these preseason games take on a different sort of a glow with the on-game betting.
Let's talk about Baltimore and Tampa Bay. We'll profile 3 games for you here. Bucks laying 3, the total in the game. The consensus is 35. We're seeing some 35.5s that are out there as well. But Baltimore already with the devastating injury to Pitta, they then lose another tight end. Kind of gutted after winning the Super Bowl. So from a depth perspective, I don't know where Baltimore stands in terms of how long is anybody that matters going to be out there.
Yeah, that's right. And you're right. Ed Dixon, who I think will be a nice replacement for Dennis Pitta during the season. He's going to be out for most of the preseason with his hamstring. Vincent Shianco played for the Vikings, will be at tight end for much of this game, so I don't think they're going to lose too much there. They've at least got some veteran presence. But I like to look at the quarterback rotation here. You're not going to see much, if any, of Joe Flacco. But behind him, Tyrod Taylor played very well in the preseason last year. He's dynamic. They want to give him more snaps in case they have to go to him in the regular season. Baltimore has something to prove here, and Caleb Haney later in the game. That's not a bad quarterback rotation in the preseason.
But Shiano, in just his demeanor, I think he wants to win every game, every play.
Yeah, he does, and he kind of established that early last season with Tampa Bay in his first year there. He wanted to get that winning going in the preseason, so they fared pretty well. Now, his quarterback stuff beyond Josh Freeman, who won't play too much, we'll see how it goes. Dan Orlovsky, Mike Glennon, the rookie from NC State. I'm a little bit questionable about the Buccaneer quarterbacking after Freeman. I think actually there's an edge for Baltimore here.
Let's move on to Cincinnati at Atlanta. And in this spot, we're looking at the Falcons, a 3-point favorite. And the total on this game is 37. If you want to go quarterback rotation, to me, an immense decided edge to the Bengals because Ryan's not going to play much. I mean, it's going to be a cup of coffee out there. The guy that's intriguing to me, if you're looking to get the job done against scrubs in the second half, all of a sudden Skelton becomes the play-on guy for the Bengals.
Well, Skelton, remember, when he first made his impression at Arizona a couple of years ago, it was in the preseason. He did very well, and he impressed then-coach Ken Wisenhunt enough to keep him on the roster and send Matt Leinart out. So Skelton has some history in the preseason here, and the Bengals are going to use him because they want to get a backup developed behind Andy Dalton. But Atlanta the other way. Let's not knock the Falcons here too much. I think moves you don't make in the offseason are as important as moves you do make. Atlanta didn't go out and get a backup quarterback. They think Dominique Davis is the guy who can do it, former East Carolina. They run the spread, up-tempo with him all through training camp. He gets a big look in this game.
And a very unique dynamic for this. Cincinnati's been in Atlanta all week long. I mean, they're practicing against the Falcons in the days leading up to the game. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is, and they're certainly familiar with one another as they get into the game. But oftentimes, these preseason games, it depends how the backup quarterbacks, you're kind of handicapping them. You make a good case for Skelton. We'll see how Dominique Davis does for the Falcons.
Is this a Super Bowl preview? Seriously? First week of preseason. Denver's at San Francisco. San Francisco 3-point favorite. Total's 34.5. Does Peyton Manning even make the trip?
He might make the trip. If one series beyond that, even that might be a surprise here. But I actually think coaching-wise there might be an advantage here in the preseason, San Francisco, because John Fox, notorious throughout his career, low-keying it in preseason, very poor record at Carolina for several years. Last year at Denver, so they actually lost their preseason games at home, one on the road. They're on the road here. But beyond Peyton Manning, I've got big questions about the Bronco quarterback rotation, especially Brock Osweiler. And then a couple of rookies, Zach Dysert and Ryan Katz. I think they drop off big time after Manning.
And San Francisco, one would think, a decided edge in the depth department when you get the second and third stringers in there.
Yeah, and, although Jim Harbaugh took a couple knocks here before they even played a game, Patrick Willis is hurting, out for the rest of the preseason. He'll at least come back. We know Michael Crabtree is out for the whole season. By the way, Dan Koppen, Denver Center, is out the other way. So these teams will low-key it. What I like about the Niners, the backup quarterback duel, Scott Tolzien has played well in the preseason. In the past, Colt McCoy in from Cleveland. So you'll have a spirited competition from guys who have played in the preseason in the past, and Harbaugh likes to win. I'm not sure if Fox cares as much. I think it's advantage Niners.
Preseason football, live betting. What more can we ask for at the start of the regular season? We're counting the days and minutes to that.
Don Best Sports, what you need to win.